Hello Taurus, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy bringing you your March 2025 general reading. We're looking at the first half of March, the first couple of weeks of March 2025 for the earth sign of Taurus, our beautiful bulls. I hope everyone's doing well. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch these videos. They're general videos. They might resonate a little differently for everyone. Watch your sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign videos as well for additional insight and perspective. If you find that something really resonates with you, it really kind of reaches out and grabs you, and you'd like to take a deeper look at something, or you simply like the reading style, if you're interested in a personal reading with me for yourself as a gift for someone else, you can email me. Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can click on the description of this video to see all of that as well. I can usually get back to you pretty quickly within 24 hours with more information. I offer a lot of different choices for readings, different types, lengths, costs, styles, spreads. A little something in there for everyone. The 6 and 12-month overviews are still quite popular. And I'm pretty diligent about the timely scheduling of personal readings. So if you're interested, email me. All right, let's dive right into this. Taurus, let's see what the first half of March looks like for you. What's coming in for Taurus? We have the World. We have the Five of Wands. We have the Ten of Cups. And for the primary theme or overall energy, we have the Devil. Taurus, I feel like a lot of you, while you may not feel so much like it right now, I feel like a lot of you are about to make a breakthrough of some kind of an issue that perhaps has some cobwebs on it. It feels like there is an issue here which has been the source of some stress, the source of some conflict, perhaps for quite some time. It may have caused issues within your relationship, within your family dynamics. But I feel like, the World here is an indication of a cycle coming to an end because there's a breakthrough, because this is a card of kind of graduation and leveling up. It looks, again, like it's something that's been, perhaps an issue for quite some time. Let's take a deeper look at it. Let's take a look at that Devil. Three of Swords. Yeah, it looks like it's been an issue that's caused some pain, some emotional pain. And the struggle is to keep the lines of communication open, to keep kind of an emotional bridge open while still maintaining a balance. But the key is kind of learning how to adapt and adjust without leaving the center of what you feel is important, which is what Temperance is. It feels like something which for some of you may be a moral or ethical sticking point here. It feels like there's been over some time some continued conflict, continued fighting, arguing. The difficulty is in that this is a situation which requires an open heart and an open line of communication and the flexibility to be able to adapt and adjust to a situation without crossing, your own moral and ethical foundation. So for some of you, whatever the issue or the source of the conflict and contention is, maybe for you a moral or ethical issue, and you may be in the past, it may be that you have been asked to cross a line which you don't feel comfortable crossing. So let's continue looking at this. Let's take a look at the World, because the World is primarily a card of graduation and breakthrough here. But it feels like there's going to definitely be some challenges along the way, perhaps in coming to an agreement on how you on how this goes moving forward. Five of Pentacles and the Four of Wands. So, we have both the Ten of Cups and the Four of Wands here. So for many of you, this is an issue which has affected your home, your family, your marriage, perhaps, whatever that might mean for you. The Five of Pentacles, this is a card of hardship and exclusion. And perhaps this issue has caused some separation or distance or estrangement between you and, I mean, it could be anything from a romantic partner, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, a family member. Perhaps it's an issue that's caused a family or to be split or family dynamics to be kind of fractured. There is a sense here of separation, of feeling shut out or excluded, and perhaps that's on both sides as well. Let's take a look at that Five of Wands. But again, it feels like there's a breakthrough here or there's going to be a breakthrough, because the important focus here is on the importance of the connections that we have with each other, and the importance on not letting differences of opinion, differences of lifestyle, differences of religion or politics or whatever, be the thing that causes such a division that we end up getting excluded from each other completely, which is a difficult thing in this day and age. Five of Wands. Five of Wands is clarified by the Five of Wands, the Fool, and the Two of Cups. So the Two of Cups indicates the strength of the nature of the connection, the relationship that you have with this person or with these people. Again, it's likely either a very close connected love romance relationship, or again, family dynamics, because there's a sense of a karmic thread kind of tying the two of you or all of you together here. We have the Five of Wands again, which is a card of conflict, but it tends to be a circular, cyclical card, like with arguing or fighting or whatever the sticking point or bone of contention is. It's the same thing. It's the same argument, the same central issue over and over and over again. And the Fool represents kind of stepping out of your comfort zone, taking a different path. It may be here that someone is being asked to, perhaps someone is resistant to change here. Perhaps, they're being asked to change in a way that they're not comfortable with, or perhaps even that they're not capable of doing. What I feel here is that the key here is going to be to focus first on what is the important thing here. The fundamentally important thing here is the importance of the connection between you and this person, or you and this group of people, particularly if it's like family or family members, something like that. Because it feels like it's something that has caused some separation, some estrangement, or some division here, or exclusion. It feels like there's a resistance to change here, and it may be that the resistance is that somebody is coming from a certain foundational belief that they simply cannot cross, in which case, the key to establishing communication here, reestablishing communication here, is on finding some path of compromise and negotiation. And I mean, it's a general reading, so whatever the sticking point is, the conflict is going to vary. And there may be some of you who are like, but I absolutely cannot do this, or I absolutely will not cross over to that, way of thinking. That's fine. But if the most important thing is, the connection, then a way has to be found. And it feels like there's a breakthrough available here, where both parties maybe don't get everything they want, but at least there's a reestablishing, a reconnection happening here. Let's take a look at that Ten of Cups. Because the Ten of Cups tends to represent a completion and cycle achievement, right? The Ten of Cups is feeling like you're finally at that place where everything has finally come together. It's a card of home and family and unity here. And again, the World card is a card of breakthroughs and graduation. That Ten of Cups is where it all comes together. But the challenge is in the middle. We have this, this Five of Wands, this kind of conflict, trying to find a way, a compromise where both parties don't feel like they're over-compromising, but there's still some sense of reconciliation here. Yeah, look at that. Clarifying that happy home card of the Ten of Cups, we have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is a card primarily of kind of mediation, right? Of compromise and negotiation, of everybody kind of coming to the table and going, okay, what's the goal here? The goal is to reunify. The goal is to have some kind of healthy coming together again. So we all agree on that, but perhaps we disagree on what needs to happen in order for that to happen, right? So it's about kind of hashing it out, compromise and negotiation. An accurate or honest, authentic compromise and negotiation is that when everything's agreed upon and everybody walks away from the table, nobody got exactly what they want, but it was what they could live with, right? So the key here is compromise negotiation. The Six of Pentacles, this is a willingness to be open to giving, to receiving more. And this is where renewal and restoration and reconciliation will come in to reunite or to create some unity in this relationship, in this family, or a combination of all of those things. It's the willingness to kind of, like Temperance here, okay, this is my absolute, can't cross this line, but what can I be flexible with? What can I adapt and adjust with? Instead of just, being very black and white right from the very beginning. A compromise, finding a compromise. And the thing is I think in the history of whatever this conflict has been, perhaps there has been too much attention focused on the differences between the two of you, the differences between, what you believe, what the other person believes. Excuse me. Got a frog in my throat there. And having it be all about that, and the cost being the fragmenting of the relationship itself and or the family unit itself, rather than going, look, the most important thing is us together with each other, right? We see very differently on this issue. So how can we compromise, negotiate, avoid, agree to disagree, that kind of thing, and move forward so that we can at least keep the relationship to kind of reunify and reconcile here. All right, advice, guidance, feedback. Ace of Swords, Nine of Swords, a new perspective, maybe opening up a new line of communication, being more open to consider not just your own firm standing point, but taking a step back to consider where another person is coming from. Doesn't mean that you abandon your fundamental moral or ethical beliefs. It just means that you're kind of taking a step back to honestly and authentically kind of see where somebody else is coming from, which opens up a new line of communication. Because it's possible here. It may be because of the history, there's a tendency to think, well, it's just going to be the same old thing over and over and over again. But again, it's about taking a step back and allowing yourself to focus not just on what the sticking point is, but the importance of the connections between everyone involved here. And be just a little more flexible with some work, one step at a time, one day at a time, 1 week at a time. A new way can be found. It feels like perhaps considering a new way of communicating, or perhaps a different way of communicating around this issue. If this is an issue where you can't just say, okay, we're just going to have to agree to disagree, and let's just not talk about that particular thing when we're together. If it's something that just fundamentally is that you can't do that, you can't ignore it, or you can't kind of avoid it, then it's about perhaps finding a different way to talk about it, perhaps finding a different way to communicate to each other when something, when feelings are being triggered, or something about that. What I am seeing here is that there is a way forward if both sides can agree to take a step back to consider everyone's kind of history and everyone's feelings and wants and needs here. It doesn't mean you abandon yours. It just means that you hear where the other person is coming from. It's kind of like the art of diplomacy, the art of negotiation here. You know, there are some things you can't compromise on, okay, but it doesn't have to be the thing that causes separation. It can't be a all my way or no way, and it can't be all their way and no way. There has to be, you know, what I'm seeing here is that it feels like for a lot of you, there is a strong potential for a breakthrough to happen here, and Spirit's advising some flexibility or just a willingness to be open to hear and perhaps to come up with some different ideas on how to deal with this moving forward so that it doesn't have to cause such division and exclusion. So I'm going to leave it there. Taurus, those are your messages for the first half of March 2025. And for those of you for whom it resonated, I hope it was helpful. And I hope it gave some ideas or some food for thought in moving forward, because that's why we do these. Again, if it did resonate and you'd like to perhaps pull the curtain back and take a deeper look on it, you like the reading style, if you're interested in a personal reading with me for yourself or as a gift for someone else, email me, Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. You can also see that contact info by clicking the description of this video. I would love to hear from you, and I'd be delighted to work with you. I will see you all in a little while for the next set of generals. Until then, stay safe, be well, be blessed, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.